Hey, everybody.
Hey!
It's Tyler, not Maat. Good to see y'all.
And it's Maat, not Tyler. What's cool, everybody?
What's up, Cooper? Hey, Seth. Hey, Keith. Hope everybody has had a great Thanksgiving
If you
or whatever
celebrate.
you celebrate or don't celebrate. I hope you had a great Thursday and a great Friday.
Yep. And we'll have a wonderful weekend. And this is a fun way to start it. Hey, Math Raptor.
Math Raptor, how you doing? It's good to see you. We announced, so last week we announced the book I'm working on with Chris Cantwell, being edited by the indomitable Bess. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what Bess's last name is. Polaris? Oh my God, Bess, if you're here, please yell at me. So I thought I would show off some of the artwork for it, some of the original art. So this is, well, actually, maybe before we get that, I wanted to show this because this has got me also very excited. But I got the second cover for my DC Horror Presents cover, and it's starting to come together. The connected covers are working. And it's like, I don't know. It's just so satisfying because they don't, like, it looks like it's its own cover, and then you put them together, and they just magically turn into a connected cover. Just, I don't know. Just very happy. I've never been able to do one of these before, and it's turning out great, and I'm excited. Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Do you want to know Bess's last name now?
Yes.
Polaris.
Polaris. I thought it was Polaris, but I wanted to say Polaris.
P-A.
Yeah. Sorry, Bess.
I still could have pronounced it wrong.
So this is the cover for Out of Alcatraz #1. Well, this is a part of it. I did, the idea with the covers was to design them to look like 60s suspense film noir movie posters. So I did this illustration, and then I did a bunch of stuff in Illustrator and Photoshop to sort of design around it. And I couldn't find the logo that I drew for it, but I did find the hand lettering for our credits. So these are the credits that appear on issue 1. They look different on issue 2 because it looks like a different movie poster. But man, like, I drew these by hand, and then I scanned them, and then I spent forever in, oh, that's right. I spent forever in Illustrator cleaning them up. And that reminds me that I did, oh, it's probably not on my iPad anymore. The most recent version of the logo I actually had done digitally, because I hand drew it digitally because it took so long to clean it up when I drew it with this marker. There's Bess. Polaris. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it on my iPad anymore.
Hello,
Tibbs.
Did she make it on
So,
camera?
but doing the hand lettering is really, really fun. I am just in love with doing hand lettering, and it's really fun to do these logos like this. So this guy is like ink and gouache and watercolor and acrylic gouache even, and colored pencils. Thank you. A lot of stuff went into this guy. And Bess, can you believe this? This was, I started this in October of 23. It's been so long. Did you also create the Stone King logo? Yeah, you know what, Chris? I hadn't really thought about that. But yeah, I did do the Stone King logo the same way. And yeah, they do have kind of a similar vibe. I love that, just that vibe of, like there's a way of doing these letters, like you can kind of see it with Christopher here, where the T and the S and the O sort of, and the P all sort of like nest together in a single thing.
Beth says it's been so long and it's been torturing keeping quiet about it.
Yeah, for reals. Like, I think it's very possible that these sketches that I did have made it onto a stream as I flipped through the sketchbook. Although I was trying hard not to show them. But here's these sketches, and we went with sort of a combination between these figures and this layout, which is pretty fun. And I think we picked the best ones. Like, the close-up on the faces isn't, like, very evocative of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, just them running with their shadows is a little bit, like, too vague. And then this one is sort of like, what is this? Is like the prison flooding? What is happening here? I don't get it.
Keith says success in the Saul Bass vibe.
Yeah, I think that's like, oh, there's Harrow County sketches. I don't know if I ever showed these. This is for the complete edition. This was my original sketch for how the book would work. And then these were like some generic ideas that didn't happen.
I'm glad that everyone went with the non-generic idea.
Yeah. So there's some pages. These are the first couple pages that we've previewed out there. So these are what they look like without the lettering on them. And these were, I think, very fun. I don't think I have ever done a scene like this that just takes place in water like this. And it was like really, it was one of those things where I did it, and then at the very end I was doing my splatter of the white, and I just kept adding and adding and adding splatter, and it just kept looking better and better and better to me. Which is fun. So like this whole scene, I was trying to keep it as chaotic as possible, so you can barely like get a whole view of what's happening at any one time. It's just like these poor guys out in the bay.
Math Raptor says, yes, good water.
Thank you.
And they say they were going to say bass with a hint of Francavilla.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, for the cover. Yeah, I can see that, because Francesco gets very designy, very graphical with his covers.
Hi,
Hey, Dylan. And this is fun. This is actually, I have not done a ton of this in the past, but in this series I do a fair amount of white airbrush to try to get these glowy lights working.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think it works really well. I'm really happy with it. Like here it works particularly nice. Just as that little like wink.
Hi, Mr. Unknown.
Mr. Unknown, how you doing? Yeah, they are in. It does not get a whole lot easier for him after this, to be honest. Do you ever have to stop yourself from working too much on a single panel, or is it easy to identify when to call each one done? That's a good question. I think it's pretty easy for me to know when it's done nowadays.
But it took practice. It took
yeah, it took me a while to get
market.
to where I could tell. I mean, part of it is that also I work in a very structured way where, so for these pages, you can see like all this brown in here and like down in here. So the way I've been doing this book is I will print out my pencils, and then I light box my first ink pass, which is all this brown ink. Let's see if there's you can kind of see it up in here a little bit, some of the brown poking through. So I do the brown ink, and then I do my watercolor pass where I paint everything and try to get it as close as I can. And then I do the black, get it as close to being done as I can. And then I do my black ink pass where I spot all of these blacks and do bring out a lot of the fine detail. And then the last thing I do is my white highlights. And usually by the time I do the white highlights, I know I'm done, because there's really like not a lot else I can do at that point.
Before you switch pages, I want to ask, what is the deciding factor for you to make the top and the bottom panel go off the page, but the center ones to stay within a specific border?
That's a good question. So the function of the bleed for this very first panel, let me zoom out so you can see it. So the bleed serves a function to me of sort of indicating to the reader that there is something beyond this panel. And so the first panel, the bleed functions to sort of, this is the very first panel you see in the whole book. So I let it bleed because I wanted you to know that this is the world that we are going to inhabit.
You wanted it to feel big.
Want it to feel big. Like there's, yeah, definitely like there is more beyond just this panel. And then these three panels were showing specific things. So this panel is like, I want you to just look at some waves. I want you to think about this water for a second. And then I want you to think about the prison on the island and the lighthouse. And I want you to think about that for a second. And then, oh, remember the waves? Let's think about that again for a second. And then we see this guy in a boat. But because of the bleed, the idea is that, like, okay, we've been thinking about these things, and here's this guy within those things, and he's trying to get out. So he gets to go off the page a little bit. And then this page is all bleed, all the way around, except for the gutter. I try really hard not to bleed into the gutter because I think it hurts clarity. And especially on a page like this with the wonky panel borders, the gutters, not letting it bleed into the previous page is, I think, helpful. Oh, actually, here's the previous page. So this is page 2, and this is page 3. And I keep the gutter clear. So page 2, now this is all bleed, and that's mostly just to let you feel just like this moment for these guys is sort of all-consuming. Like it's so big that it has to go off the page to fit. And we continue with that bleed. We're like, and we're also getting closer and closer to the guys as we go. Like this guy falls off the boat, goes into the waves, and then we get like really, really close in with these guys to the point where we're basically in the boat with them. But like their position is so precarious that you can barely even see the boat that they're in. Like it's mostly just the waves and them. And then there's a splash where they make it to the other side. But that's in the chaos of all the house stuff. I don't know exactly where that is. I think it's right over there, but I don't know. I didn't want to dig it out. But then, so this is something we haven't shown, but these are some test pages I did before I started working on the book officially. And this was drawn without a script, but you can kind of see how similar it clearly ended up being. This is another test page for a different scene. And then this was some character design stuff. Chris, you want me to go back to the waves?
No,
These are
no,
some
that
of-
was. Hi, Chris Hacker. Chris Hacker came in when you were all. Remember, I want you to look
Oh,
at these
now
waves.
let's go back to the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these were some character design things that I did, and these were very useful because both of these characters sort of are a team, and they both have sort of their like their own relationships
Yeah.
between each other that are very different, and so like drawing them
Oh.
together as groups like this, I thought was really helpful for me to understand like just how I was going to draw these guys and how I was going to think of them. And this is actually a really good example of, you can see how the brown ink functions, because, so like this line right here is only brown, but here on the shadow side, I went in with black. And same on this leg where you can see the brown and then I go in with black. And then some of these like render lines on his pants and on his shirt and stuff are brown, while the shadow sides and the more contour heavy stuff gets black.
Is this the first time you've done this technique?
No, this
book?
is what I did for Lonesome Hunters, although Lonesome Hunters I was a little more heavy-handed with the airbrush stuff, so I think that ate into some of the brown lines, because I ended up doing a lot of brown airbrush stuff in Lonesome Hunters.
Bess says, well, you're reading it now.
You did a hilarious lettering test over the page with Frank smoking on the porch. Oh yeah, he was like, I think the dialogue I made up, because I needed to figure out the lettering style I was going to use for this series, and so I put together some letters on this where he was just talking about how he bets, he's like smoking a cigarette and going, man, I bet I look cool. God, I hope I look so cool. Because he is doing his cool guy thing. Love that you did those brown and black lines. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, I think it works really, really well for like it makes it easier to sort of build forms and build the contrast into the drawings in ways that make things feel a little more 3D, and it makes even though I'm inking lines like this, it still feels a little bit more painterly, which is cool. It takes forever though, man. Like, I was just talking to somebody. I was actually just finished an interview with
Byron O'Neill, Cryptid Creator Corner podcast.
Yeah, and I was just talking about how like my process has gotten it's gotten pretty like cut and dry. Like the way I work my way through a page is pretty much the same, but it is just getting more and more complex and slower as I get older. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I showed this off a little bit, but this has been on my desk for the last 9 months or so. This is my 1962 Fresno State College.
Before you get too far into that, people are asking about the brown lines. Like Dylan wants to know what brand you use.
For both of these, I'm using FW ink. So the brown is FW burnt umber, and I usually water it down a little bit. Like I'll throw it, I got this little dish, so I'll put a couple drops of brown in there and then a couple drops of water, and then that's what I use for my first inking pass. It's similar, I've done this on the stream in previous streams where I sort of work that way. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just nice to have, like, when you try to paint over black lines, like for Harrow County, everything was black line, and then I painted everything over the top. And doing it this way, where the black is one of the last things that I do, the blacks just end up being more true, like true black, and looking better. It's nice. Hey, Comic Tropes. Thank you. I'm very excited about this Alcatraz book. We've been working on this for a long time. Like, I've been working on this book for at least a year now, and Christopher Cantwell, the writer, has been working on it for years longer than that. I think he said he's been working on it for like 5 years now.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
Comic
yeah.
Tropes, Chris. Everyone remember to hit the like button. And Comic Tropes points out that it helps YouTube recommend the show to new people.
Yeah. So this thing, I thought this would be more helpful than it has ended up being. It's mostly helpful for hairstyles, just because so many of the pages are just headshots. And also, like, one of the things that I've found that limits the usefulness of yearbooks is that everyone tries to dress nice for these. And I want to know, like, street clothes. Like, there's a lot of pictures like this that's like some casual clothes. Like, that's pretty cool. The short sleeve plaid button down, like, that's nice. And the horn rim glasses are, like, cool.
And that seems like
But
this thing has been perfect then.
It's
Clothing
been
and
great
hairstyles.
for hairstyles. For clothing, like I said, it's a little bit hit or miss because there's a couple pictures like that, but most of it is people dressed nice because they knew they were going to get their photo taken. But man, I actually had my sister used to be a hair stylist. And we've had some discussions about women's hair in the 60s, and man, it seemed like a fucking nightmare. Just like curlers, sleeping in curlers, and then like
Ratting your hair.
ratting your hair, and like not being able to wash it except for like a couple times a month because it would ruin your set. And the set would take hours. Like once you did your hair, you needed it to last for days and days.
Dylan, this story is set in 1962. So yeah, the yearbook is 1962 as well.
Yeah, exactly. What issue is it on? So, Mr. Unknown, it will start coming out in March. I'm currently working on issue 4, and it's a 5-issue series. Although the first issue is a double-sized issue. It was 44 pages. These are absolutely great, though. I don't think they really do these as much anymore. But these football pictures where the dudes are just like leaping are so good.
They're
Like this
posing
dude.
for the. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like.
They're posing, but it's an action shot.
Yeah, they're doing these like action shots, and they're just so goofy and awesome. I love them. Good old Doug Brown tackle. Parents were either 1 or 2 at the time of this yearbook. Man, how old were my parents? In 62, they would have been 12.
Yeah. 12 and 14?
Yeah. No, I think 12 and 10.
12 and 10. They all got concussions just from doing the photos.
Yeah. How many
might
do you
be
think
true.
have died? Man, how many people from, in this book that are probably dead? Probably a lot of them by now. If they were in college in 62, they would be in their 80s now.
Oh, this is a college yearbook,
Yeah.
not a high school?
Yeah, this is Fresno State.
Oh.
What's really, like, fascinating about this is that it is, like, exactly the same as my yearbooks. Like, it's the exact same paper. This weird, like, textured, glossy stuff. Yeah, it's a trip. I like to think 1 out of 10 people don't die. Maybe I'll be one of those. Yeah, 1 out of 10 people are probably
Still
immortal.
alive. Yeah.
My mom was 12 in 62. Yep.
I think it was Chris Hacker that asked how can they get an interview with you and Chris Cantwell.
Send me an email and we'll work it out. Go to mrcrook.com and do the form there.
When you were in high school, did you contribute any art to your yearbook? That's what Comic Trips is asking.
In high school, I don't think I did. Which is weird because my best friend was like the yearbook editor, but I don't think I like contributed at all to it. I did for junior high, but I don't think I have those anymore. I think those are gone.
Oh.
Or I don't know how I
I
lost
hope we
them.
still have
Yeah.
them somewhere. Oh, Chris Hacker corrected us. -12.
Oh,
In
-12.
1962. Well, that's me and Tyler too. That's how old we were.
Yeah. Wait, in 62, I was born in 74.
Yeah, so you were.
I was -12.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was -10.
Oh my gosh, I'm the same age as your parents. That's terrifying. They asked you to contribute to the yearbook and just dragged your feet. I know, man, like, when I was in high school, I didn't want to do shit. I didn't want to do my homework. I didn't want to work on the yearbook.
Nobody asked me, but asked a friend. He contributed a lot. In my high school though, there was 1 year where I got to take 2 art classes. That was amazing.
I had a it was my junior year in high school. I got a independent study art class, which was like an invitation to do absolutely nothing. It was so good.
That was basically me too.
There's a secondhand bookstore in town that sells donated books. I bought some that have up to 70-year-old handwritten notes inside the cover, intended for the first person the book was given to. That's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a lot of books, it seems like, because they have like something interesting in them. Like I have a Anatomy for Artists book where a previous owner has done like a head study in the inside front cover that I'm in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And they've colored in and made some notes on some of the anatomy and stuff. Tyler, did I see you mention you're leaving Instagram? Are you just going to do BlueSky and Kara? I'm thinking about it. I think I've just about made up my mind, but but it's a hard choice to make. I don't feel good about being on
Meta.
on any Meta platform. Like I just don't think that Zuckerberg is any better than Elon Musk, so I feel gross. And I also feel like the amount of energy that it takes from me is less than what it gives me. BlueSky, with its like lack of algorithm, is amazing. and the fact that you can like post a link and people will see it on BlueSky. Hank Green just did a post about that on his YouTube channel where he sort of compared his Threads and Twitter and BlueSky. And both Threads and Twitter, like, if you post a link, it deprioritizes it to the point where only a fraction of the people see it. But if you post it on BlueSky, because there's no algorithmic chicanery, it just, people will actually see a link and can click on it. And as much as I enjoy just like being on social media and being a goofball, like, ultimately the thing is I need to be able to tell people that I have a book coming out and that they can, and they will see it and go buy it. And yeah, it really just feels like Twitter and Instagram don't provide that service anymore.
Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, Facebook and Instagram.
Twitter
yeah.
for sure, but
And
you're
Twitter
not
for
there
sure,
anymore.
yeah. But I'm long gone from Twitter.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Comic Tropes, your high school graduating class was 100 students. That is small.
Oh, wow, yeah. Mine was 1,000 students. And no, mine was like 500 students. And the year after me, it was 1,000 students.
They doubled it.
It doubled. It got so big. My engagement on Threads is just about non-existent. And while I have a large following on Twitter, it's hit and missed based on what I post. BlueSky is friendly and engaged. Yeah, that's been my experience too, Comics Tropes, is that, I mean, it's just hard to beat having no algorithm. Like, even like Threads has announced that they're going to try to do a better algorithm that's more like BlueSky, but they won't do it. like it'll be more like BlueSky, but it won't be BlueSky. Did you go to high school in California? Yeah, Bess, I went to high school in Temecula and in Lodi. And in fact, the Lodi stuff has been a big inspiration for out of Alcatraz, just because that was my time spent in, that was my most recent time spent in sort of Central California. Really appreciate your stance on all of this social media tomfoolery. If more creators followed your lead, X and Meta would notice very quickly. Man, I would sure hope so. Like, yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't think I'm a thought leader in this regard. I think I'm definitely following the lead of a lot of smarter people than I am. And, but yeah, I mean, the thing about social media is that in its current form, it does not provide the service that it claims to provide. You know, it just does not connect you to the people you want to be connected with in the way that you want to be connected. It connects you in the way that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk wants you to connect.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not have our best interests at heart.
No, they're taking, they're without, well, I guess like by signing up for it, we kind of, no. I don't think most people consent to the stuff that Elon Musk and Zuckerberg benefit. Like,
yeah,
it feels like a little bit like stealing.
Yeah, no,
like
it definitely feels
AI.
like they are, like, I'm working very hard to make those people rich,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not giving me anything in return.
No.
Yeah. Was your time in prison helpful for the Alcatraz book? You know, my time in prison was mostly spent strapped in one of those machines that like holds your eyes open and makes you watch terrible videos. So, you know, it was different.
Makes you watch Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Man, Carrie says that their high school was 65 people from about 5 different village-sized towns.
Wow.
Man, that's like the town we live in now, the graduating class is about, it's a little bit bigger than that, but it's like under 100 people, I think.
I did follow you, Keith. You said you were on BlueSky, and I went and looked, and I found you real easy. If y'all want to find Tyler on BlueSky, it's Mr. Tyler Crook. And I'm just my name, Ma.
Yeah,
Crook.
no one reads the terms of service. I mean, the terms of service too are like, they're designed to be unreadable, you know, like they don't want you to read them. That's how you watch my channel. Yep. They wanted to reprogram my brain, and so they made me watch comic tropes over and over and over. They made me watch the live streams. 4 hours. My God. I look at social primarily as a promotional tool. It's not as fun as it seemed 20 years ago. I think social has pushed people further apart. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's just algorithmic too. I think it's like the algorithm doesn't want, it just doesn't want people to be friends. My husband is from Wasco. I actually don't know where that is.
California?
All those,
California?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Oh, there's a Wasco, Oregon too.
That's Kern County.
Oh, that's just north of Bakersfield. So that's in the Central Valley, but it's like southern Central Valley.
We were watching something just a few days ago that was in Kern County, and I was all, that sounds so familiar.
Oh, Kari just followed you on BlueSky.
So I see it.
What are you in the mood to draw? Man, I don't know if I'm in the mood to draw anything today. This might be kind of a boring cool down. I've been like fighting so hard to get anything done today. Between Thanksgiving and the contractors, it's just been like...
You've been lucky if you can get any of your work done.
Yeah, no, it's been a struggle, especially today. But I think, I think I'm going to be working over the weekend to actually make up for it, because next week, hopefully, the contractor will be done and we'll be painting the studio, and we got guys coming soon to install a heater in the studio, which it has desperately needed. And then, whenever all that's done, I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to do like a studio tour. And you know what, while I'm talking about it, we are at, I think this is episode 99 of the Comic Book Cool Down. And I was hoping to be able to do the studio tour of the new one for episode 100.
Oh, I hope that we can do that.
Yeah, we'll see if it's possible.
Let me see what number we are on.
Show us whatever comics or reference you have nearby. All right, here's what I got on my desk. I got the Out of Alcatraz sitting here. I got my sketchbook sitting here. What are these? Can I show these? Nope. This came, that is very exciting, the Sleepless hardcover from Sarah Vaughn and Leila Del Duca, and I actually own this page right here, which is gorgeous. I picked it just because it had so many skulls. But I haven't read this yet, and it was very exciting to be like, oh, shit, I could read that story that is sitting, hanging on the wall above my drawing table. It's gorgeous, too. This is just an absolutely gorgeous book. And Layla had to do some sort of like hand crafting to get this part on the cover fixed. Apparently they printed goofed up, and she had to hand do every single book. But it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful presentation. And that's basically all I have on my desk right now. Like, I got these guys. I'm sitting here. Usually I have more comics, like, sitting on my desk. I don't know what my
These
deal
are on the
is.
floor.
Yeah, no, those aren't really, like, those are just there because we moved the studio around.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything else.
The complete Harrow County arrived. Yes, I'll be doing an unboxing soon. Nice.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I still can't believe that friggin' book. I got those back here. So those, this came out this week. Ugh, oh my God, it's so heavy. 1,000 pages, man. I still can't believe, like, that Colin and I made something so, like, epic and big. Like, I don't know. It's just, when we started Harrow County, like, I thought it would be, you know, I hoped it would go for a couple issues or whatever. I hoped that we would get a couple miniseries out of it. But doing 32 issues is just so rare. And we're so fortunate to have been able to do that. And, yeah, it's ridiculous. This book is so silly. So I was posting to somebody on BlueSky about how if they're going to take this home from the comic shop, they need to make sure that the shocks in their car are like working properly and that their tires are properly filled and stuff. Here's some Ma'a artwork.
Oh, yeah.
To go with a Ma'a essay. And some more Ma'a art. And then this is me drawing a, I can't remember, is that supposed to be you when you were a kid?
With the foot?
With a broken toe?
Yes, that's me. It's supposed to be me. I don't know how you didn't use any reference or anything. I think that's maybe what you thought I might have looked like as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, if you have an extra 150 bones sitting in your bank account that you need to get rid of, this is a good way to get rid of it.
You want to treat yourself to something really special.
This establishes that Emmy lives at 14 Southeast Farm Road in Harrow County, North Carolina.
That's where Colin's from, and me.
Yeah. If this sells well, does that mean we will definitely get more Tales of Harrow County? Man, I would hope so. I don't know though. Like the Tales of Harrow County, I don't know. I don't know how those are. I don't know how we can keep those going. Both Colin and I would really, really like to get more Tales of Harrow County going, but yeah, I don't know how we're going to do it.
Dylan, Ma'a is my honest to goodness name. It's not the name I was born with, but it makes it more special because I chose it for myself.
It is not fake.
Nope. And I chose it because it means truth and justice and a light and darkness and order and chaos, or order from chaos.
It's on sale for $115 on Amazon right now.
Just don't buy it from Amazon right now.
Yeah, their Amazon workers are on strike.
Yeah.
So try not to cross the picket line until
After
Tuesday.
Cyber Monday, yeah.
Yeah. So even if even if the sale ends, you could get it. You could probably get this from. Oh man, what's the name of that distributor?
Diamond?
Half Price Trades or something like that.
I don't know.
The guys that own
that's okay.
Lunar have
That's okay, Ray.
sell discounted trade paperbacks that are usually pretty cheap. Oh, no need to be sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
And if, I mean, I say that, but you can do whatever you want. Everybody's free
To feel sorry.
everyone's free to live their life however they choose. I just
Yeah,
like to.
we said please don't. Please don't cross the picket line.
And I like to support unions when I can.
Chris, comic tropes, your name means poops.
Man, you guys will never believe what the name Tyler means.
I did consider just being straight up, just like no fancy meaning in a name, just be straight up
when
truth.
you picked your name?
Yeah. But yeah, yours is very straightforward.
At least you have a good weapon near you just in case. I don't know. Someone else said that about this book, and I feel like it's just as likely to
hurt you.
yeah, kill me as it is to kill whoever I'm attacking with it. Figuring out my name was somehow way easier than naming comic characters. Nice. Yeah, that's I have that same thing. Like I have such a hard time choosing names for fake characters, but and it took you a long time to pick Mott.
Oh my gosh, but that's, for me, it's way easier to come up with character names than like the name that I want to stick with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Not that you really have to, because actually I didn't. I kind of changed my name again a second time a little bit. I just tweaked it a bit.
Which makes, I don't know,
But
makes
it
sense
took
to me.
me
Like,
such a long time.
I know there are cultures where you have to pick your name multiple times throughout your life.
Just
which
for
makes,
like life changes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I love writing, and I have the hardest time coming up with character names because it's such a balance between giving it a meaning and not feeling like it's got an obvious meaning. Yeah, no, that's sort of where I am too. Like, I sort of try to find names based on vibes more than meaning.
And I like meaning.
Yeah, Ma likes meaning. Hey, Shell. It's good to see you. I'm glad you could drop in.
Carrie's mom's given name is Karma. Her motto is life is choices. It's awesome.
The name that I was given at birth, Dylan, means son of waves and is the name of a Welsh sea god. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually tell anybody what the name Tyler means. It means someone who makes tiles.
Or lays tiles.
Or lays tiles, yeah.
Tile.
I was kind of put on the spot because I had 10 minutes to choose before the courtroom closed. Wow. Turns out when I'm given a time limit, I can make decisions. That's awesome.
I do like your middle name, Seth. It's really good.
Slate Rockman and Gray Hard Muscle. Don't be giving away these names for free, Comic Trips. Those are good.
I named a D&D character Darvo, and it was because he did Darvo. He was abusive. Deny. Oh, geez, what is Darvo?
Attack. Deny. Attack.
Reverse victim and oppressor. Yeah.
No, Comic Strips, I have not seen that ad. It's funny how much of my life I have sort of set up to avoid watching any sort of television commercial. Cane Caro fits him a lot better. Took me 7 months to think it up, though.
Yeah, it took me probably that long to come up with my name, too.
Cane Caro is a pretty good romance novel guy.
Or person.
Yeah, Sawyer Beckett. He stayed that way for 4 whole years before I Googled it.
Oh,
Wait,
before
what was
you
the name of
Googled it.
Sawyer in Lost? What was his last name?
I don't
That's
remember.
the
think,
first time I
think
remember
that
being
was,
aware of
Was
Sawyer.
Sawyer his last name, maybe?
No,
No.
that was his first name. I think. I don't know. I'm still mad at Lost, so I haven't gone back to watch. Kane Caro fits him a lot better. Yeah. It's an ad. You've watched it like 20 times. That's unhealthy.
Ford. His last name was Ford. Sawyer Ford. Yeah, you have a great name, Dylan.
Carl Havoc. Yeah, that's a good name.
Hi,
I chewed
Actual
on
Dracula.
Shell for a while, but then I snuck it into my life as a pen name and it stuck. Oh, I had always just assumed that Shell was like short for something. It's a good name though.
Mm-hmm.
That art piece. Thanks, Dylan. James Sawyer Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, James was his real name, but he went by Sawyer. Because he was like Tom Sawyer.
Oh, no. Hi, Alpha Llama Llama.
Alpha Llama Llama. I write Cthulhu mythos story, my recent moniker for Nyarlathotep is Lord Niles Black. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, well, I hope this wasn't like a boring cool down. It was very much a cool down, though. Just looking at this stuff and getting ready for a calm weekend. The plausible deniability was a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, you've had a lot on your plate today. Today was a pretty hectic day.
Well. Oh, thanks, Comic Tropes. Nickname was Gil since he was really into fish. It was a cool down, yeah. I shouldn't apologize for these live streams. They're all just a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are the same.
Yep.
Bark wolf.
Oh, thanks, Shell.
Finn swimming.
I'm really glad you snuck in too. It's good to see you.
You're coming up with some really
Bark
great
Wolf
rings.
Man. That's a really good name. Oh, nice, Seth. Yeah, I hope that's helpful.
Thank you,
Oh, yeah, Carrie. And yeah, if you want to do an interview, just send me an email. We'll be happy to set it up. You've earned a night off. Thanks, Bess.
And everyone keep an eye on splash pages over on YouTube for the unboxing. And Bess is saying you earned a night off. Oh,
thanks, Keith. You guys are the best. All right, I'm going to call it quits. Don't forget to go tell the people you love how much you love them, and I love all you guys.
Don't forget to like the stream if you liked it, and
have a nice weekend.
Wonderful weekend, yep.
And I'll see y'all next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.